Welcome to r/RedditRevenge. This is a story of someone getting back at someone with revenge after being wronged. Thank you, friends, for subscribing to the channel and for so many likes. The first story: woman causes fender bender, lies to police and insurance. Dash cam proves her fault, saving others involved. The second story: seeking revenge on a wedding photographer who refused a refund. A vengeful bride dealt a severe blow to his business. The third story: rude 65-year-old man received numerous coins as change from the cashier. The first story is 4-car pileup and you thought you were innocent? The other day I visited the car wash for a quick morning rinse-off. Everything was going fine until I was mid-suds. All of a sudden I see brake lights and I hit the car in front of me. At first I didn't know what was going on because I had just gone through the bristle brushes and I could hardly see through the soap. Not even 5 seconds later, I get hit from the back. The rollers in the car wash are still trying to lurch my car forward, so it just became a back and forth game. After some beeping, the attendant came over and began asking what happened, but we were all confused. After we get out of the car, we spoke to the manager, assuming it was some sort of malfunction. It turns out that the woman in a BMW in front of me decided that she didn't need to put her car in neutral. So instead, she drove herself through the automatic car wash. And when I say drove, I mean drove. The manager checked the cameras in the car wash and her car wasn't even lined up with the rollers on the belt that pushes the car through. She was about 20 inches ahead of the rollers. In the middle of the car wash, the sprayer function started spraying, and her car wasn't even at that point yet. So by the time she got there, she only got half of the soap sprayed off of her car. She then stops, apparently waiting around for the rest of the water, and that's when I collided into her vehicle. After the collision, she slowly drives out of the car wash. She was the only car that made it out of the car wash in the beginning, because the rest of us were in neutral and the belt was paused. We originally thought that she drove off because we couldn't find her vehicle. After checking the cameras, the manager found her vacuuming her car. According to her, she was completely surprised because she stated that she was not involved in an accident in the car wash, and nothing had gone wrong. She becomes belligerent and yelling ensues. She denied her involvement so fiercely, stating that she didn't have scratches on her car, so she must not have been involved. She still stated this after management showed her the video evidence. She had the gall to admit, of course I drove my car through the car wash with my foot on the brake. I didn't want to hit anyone. After we all scratched our heads, the management began to explain to her why those big red signs are there and what they say, since apparently she couldn't read. We're waiting on the traffic police, but a very annoyed police officer arrives at the scene. You could tell from the moment Officer Evans pulled up that she did not want to be there. Evans took all of our statements, including the manager's, and took pictures of all of our vehicles to make her police report. There was about 10 minutes of Evan talking with the woman and trying to explain to her that you don't drive through a car wash with your foot on the brake, or you become responsible for anything that happens. She wasn't even listening to the cop. She still tried to argue that she was innocent and not involved. During the exchange, the woman refused to give us her information, let alone her full name. She told us that if we wanted to get her information, we would just have to wait until the police report. I ended up going to Officer Evans and asking her for the woman's information, because it's illegal to withhold information during an accident. The woman then went to take pictures of all of our cars, and the third car involved had a huge dent on the underside of the bumper. When the owner of the car pointed it out to the woman, she said that she didn't know if that was there before. And when the owner of the car said that it was not, and that it happened in the car wash, she said, "Let's not be dramatic." Her entire demeanor made my skin crawl. I've never wanted to punch a bee so much in my life. Besides her attitude, she was acting aloof in the situation, smiling and overall avoiding conversation with the rest of us. Fast forward to today when we get the police report, and this bee of a cop didn't put in any of our statements down or information. She did a basic layout of the collision and that was all. So that was absolutely no help in the claim process. I get a call from the woman's insurance company, State Farm, and to no surprise, she's claiming that it was our fault and that she was not involved in the accident. The State Farm rep actually told me that the story that she was telling didn't make sense, nor did it match with the damages. So he asked me to clarify again for the second time what happened, because they were just trying to figure out how to proceed with this. I explained what happened and he mentioned that it was all making sense now. I brought up the video footage, and he said that she had not mentioned that, but if I could get it sent over to them, then it would clear everything up. The car wash place wouldn't send the videos directly to us, but said that if the insurance company reached out to him, he would send it to them. For some reason, I just had an inkling that they may not want to send it for their own purposes and liability issues. I would have definitely gone after them if they had withheld, but it turns out I didn't need them. I decided this morning at 3 a.m. to go out to my car and check my dash cam footage. The day of the accident, I completely forgot that I had a dash cam. It's relatively new and I don't get into a lot of accidents. Lo and behold, I have a copy of the incident before and after with a clear view of her license plate and her brake lights shining on camera. To say I was elated is an understatement. I had gone down a little rabbit hole the night before and found her LinkedIn with all of her job information and her personal phone number just in case. I wish I could see the look on her face or hear her voice when her insurance company calls her to tell her that she's at fault. I would actually pay money to hear her response. It really shocked me the length that people will go to lie and get out of something even when they have hard evidence against them. A part of me wonders if she just thought that her insurance company would side with her, or if she thought that we weren't going to send the video. I also just want to ask her why the F she's so effing stupid. Has she never gone through a car wash before? I need answers. I think that she was convinced that she was going to get away with this, especially when she saw the police report. I'm sure that she thought she was golden. Lying to your insurance company and fighting with cops doesn't exactly lead you on the right path to justice. It's petty revenge for me because now I don't have to wait for the car wash place to actually send it over. Or if they were just BSing, deal with that. And it came from me, and there's a part of me that wishes I could just text it to her and say, don't F with people with dash cams. The second story is, harmed a wedding photographer's business after they harmed me. A couple years ago, I was planning my wedding and hired a photographer from a local wedding Facebook group. After paying the deposit, we made plans to do engagement photos a few months down the line. I was planning over a year in advance, so the timeline is a little different than standard. Maybe 3 months after, my fiancé was diagnosed with cancer, and the whole wedding was called off. I informed all of our vendors, and thankfully most were very kind and gave us most of our deposit back. The photographer was an entirely different story. Contractually speaking, they were in the clear. It was non-refundable. They said they would try to get our travel fee back to us, but we were out the deposit. I obviously had larger concerns, so I accepted his answer and moved on. After a couple months in my fiancé in treatment, I had some time to think and reached back out to the photographer to see if he could at least take our engagement pictures once my fiancé had his hair back, because at this point we had paid him about $1,500 for nothing. He happily accepted, and I said I would reach out again once fiancé was doing well and up for pictures. I sent a text every now and again to keep the photographer updated, and about 6 months later we were ready for pictures. That is when he promptly ghosted us. I messaged him through his Facebook business page, so I was able to see that he was viewing my messages and completely ignoring them. F this SH, I'm angry at the world and she'll take it out on you. I had his number, business email, and Facebook page to work with. First, I got him kicked out of the 30K plus member wedding Facebook group. Then I left a factual review on his Facebook page in the not page. It remained front and center as it was his first review in like 3 years. I signed up his phone and email for all the spam I could find, including multiple religious newsletters. After a few months of monitoring his Facebook page to ensure my reviews stayed up, I discovered that he had to delete his whole page, remove his email, and cancel an upcoming photography event he had planned. Alas, if only Instagram and his personal website allowed reviews. I think my actions caused him $1,500 in business losses. The third story is the charm of coins. My family owns a small convenience store, which is right across from a hotel, and is our prime source of business, and I would work there every summer after my university finals. At that point in time, I was a 23-year-old university student, meaning I loved going out and staying late with friends. I loved sleeping until noon, and I absolutely hated the day shift, opening the store, cleaning, talking with vendors, etc. On that particular day, I somehow woke up at 7 a.m. with energy, and was in a good mood without even taking a sip of coffee. Anyway, I headed to the store, opened it, and got done with all the chores and tasks before 8:30 a.m. I had yet to have a customer, as the hotel's guests tend to leave the hotel around 9 a.m. after having breakfast. When it comes to customer service, I am chirpy, smile brightly, give 200% of myself, and go the extra mile to help, even if I am sleep deprived. However, I have a pet peeve. When I greet someone, I want to get greeted back, even if it's lackluster/half-A. So here enters the first customer of the day, whom I will call Old Money. Old Money was the 65-year-old, I assume, caricature of the 80s Greek lover stereotype. 4 to 5 top buttons of the shirt unbuttoned, hairy chest enough to trap the summer's bloodthirsty mosquitoes, gold chain with a gold cross around the neck, and more tan than a fisherman fighting with the waves to catch fish. With a lit cigar in his mouth, aviator sunglasses, and an attitude of "do you know who I am?" Old Money came inside the store with his lit cigar, and I greeted him, said good morning with my brightest smile, and offered him an ashtray to place his lit cigar, which I would then place outside, as it's not allowed to have lit cigarettes or cigars, surprise, surprise, in stores. He didn't greet me back, frowned, and was bothered that I asked to take away his precious cigar. At that point, I was starting to get annoyed, and he hadn't even told me what he wanted. Still, I didn't let that show on my face. Old Money: "I want water." Me: "First of all, hello and good morning," I emphasized. Old Money: Again, he didn't greet back. I let it slide and told myself you should not bother. Me: "We have cold bottles of water outside, and even colder ones in the freezer if you're interested, so they will last you longer." Old Money: "From the freezer, 6 small ones, go get them." Do I even have to mention the self-service part of a convenience store? Anyhow, I still kept my smile, told myself not to argue with him, and that the sooner he left the better for my mental health, and went to fetch the bottles of water. Me: "You need anything else?" Old Money: "No." Me: "Okay, that'll be €3. Old Money took a wad of cash of all colors out of his pocket with a money clip, and he gave me a €50 bill. Me: Sorry for asking, but do you maybe have a smaller bill?" Old Money: "You're the cashier, you deal with it." At that moment, something popped inside of me. Do you guys know what wealthy wannabes hate the most in the world? The clinging sound of coins in their pockets. For non-Europeans, the euro coins are the following: 1 cent, 2 cents, 5 cents, 10 cents, 20 cents, 50 cents, €1, and €2. I could easily give him €45 in bills and a €2 coin, right? Where's the fun in that, however? As such, I gave him €40 in bills and €7 in coins. How many coins, you ask? 100 times 1 cent, 100 times 2 cents, 40 times 5 cents, 10 times 10 cents, 5 times 20 cents, of course. I painstakingly counted them one by one before him. He was dumbfounded when I handed him all the coins. Old Money: "What's this?" Me: "It's your change, sir. As you kindly reminded me, I'm the cashier and I dealt with it." I kept smiling as I said with an innocent, angelic face. He was rendered speechless and stomped out of the shop with a red face, forgetting to get his precious cigar with him. Me: "Goodbye, have a nice day." One would expect he would never enter our store again, right? Yes, we were wrong as well. He came again the next day. Now, I have to mention that I have a younger brother, who's 2 years younger than me, so that makes him 21 at that timeline, who worked at the store too, and he's the personification of a resting bee face. He's a great person, but you'll either love him or hate him to the bone. I had told my brother about Old Money and the incident, and he craved he was in my shoes. So chance encounter. It was afternoon when Old Money entered the store. My brother was at the register, tending to 3 customers, while I was outside restocking the fridges. I noticed Old Money, headed inside, and whispered to my brother, "It's him." My brother glanced at him, arched his brow, and told me he got it. As such, I started tending to one of the 3 earlier customers, and Old Money spoke to me. Old Money: "I want 6 small bottles of water like yesterday." Before I had the chance to speak, my brother interjected. "Brother, here's a plastic bag. You can go outside and pick the bottles of water you like." Old Money: "But yesterday he fetched me the bottles." Brother: "As you can see, we're tending to customers who came before you, and we offer to help when it's not a busy time." Old Money took the bag reluctantly, picked his bottles, and came inside to pay. This time he gave the exact amount and left. My brother and I smirked and continued with our day. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Have a good day.